Good morning. Happy Friday. Oh, I am so glad that it's Friday. And that's like, I know sometimes people are like, don't live for the weekends, but like, even having a business that I love the weekends because it's just a slower pace. And I love just like being able to like sleep in and be with my family and Netflix it up and relax and just like it just like I have freedom during the week, but there's just a different vibe on the weekends and I'm here for it and I love it and I hope that you're doing something really really fun this weekend. I'm taking Emma to a cooking class, which I'm just excited for that too. So, and tons of relaxing. The Super Bowl is this weekend. We've got our scholarships open. If you haven't applied or nominated somebody for a scholarship, those are open until the end of Sunday, which I'm super excited about. Build Your Course starts, our next round starts on Monday. And we made a really, really exciting announcement that everyone that is a student of ours, so alumni and current students, when they create their $7 offer, that's what we teach them in Build Your Course to create a $7 mini training. When they put that together, it is going to be on our new website for sale, and it will link right to their sales page and they will take all the money. And then we'll like randomly talk about it on our email and then also social media. So I'm super excited about it because there's so many like exciting topics. Like I have even purchased some of them myself. So I might go on like a frenzy and like buy more of them, but it'll be nice to have them all in one place so everyone can help each other. So that's what we're about here at the movement is supporting one another, lifting each other up and really moving forward. So, in order to do that today, what I would love to talk to you about is how to not let tech stop you. I talk to so many entrepreneurs and they're like, I need a pretty website, or I don't know how to build a sales page and I know I really need one, or, you know, I, I don't even know how to like log into all of these like softwares and how to use them and they completely freak me out and all of these things. Or like maybe you have software that you have purchased and it like keeps like breaking on you and it's like very frustrating. So here's the cool part. Many years ago, when I was newer to the online space, one of the big names in the industry, I won't say their name, but I purchased their course. This is not like a bad story, but I just want to keep their name protected because it really doesn't matter. But I purchased their course. They're a huge name in the online space. Like they make $10 million a year. And I purchased their course and I was really excited. However, when I was going through the sales process, I kept clicking on the buy button and it wouldn't work. And it was like really late at night. And I kept doing it and I kept doing it. And it was like the doors were closing. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not gonna be able to get in and the button's not working. I've tried on like a computer, a phone, all the things. And so I emailed their tech team and then they got back to me obviously the next morning. And so I wasn't mad about it, but it was honestly like the best thing that could have happened because it as a like a newer entrepreneur at the time, it reminded me like, okay, like even when somebody's making $10 million a year, they have tech challenges. And so I've had similar situations happen over the years like that. And it just is always very, very humbling of like, okay, like tech doesn't stop them and it shouldn't stop me. Like it's a part of the game of having an e-learning empire and it's going to happen. But here's where I see it trip people up. We use it as an excuse. For years, I did not have a cute website or like a website even fully functioning. Like you can do big business without having tons of tech. And I think that's really important. One, because tech adds up. Like softwares are pricey. Like when you start to like do all of them. And so in like our Moolah Club, I keep it as affordable as possible for you, meaning like I show you all the tech and we do like screen shares. And you don't have to have all of them, but I at least educate you on them so you can know how to use them. And we picked like the easiest, most affordable ones, and even got you some like discounts. Like our email provider that we have a discount, a 50% off discount for our members, which is great, right? So we don't want tech to stop us. So then we get to decide, okay, what tech is like absolutely like a non-negotiable. So if you were to ask me that, having an email list is huge. So we teach you how to use Flowdesk. Flowdesk is like one of the most user-friendly email providers, okay? And then, yes, eventually we do want to have a sales page. So that way, like you can keep linking it and selling in your sleep, because that's our whole goal, right? Like make money in your sleep. So if we don't have that, it does make that harder. I don't want that to stop you though. There's so many times that I've just sent a PayPal link to people and it works. Okay. But Flowdesk also has a sales page built in. You do have to upgrade a little bit. So I think just the email that we get for you is $19 a month. And then to upgrade, it's like $32, still discounted because typically it's more expensive. But all of it in Flowdesk is so user friendly. So there are more complicated softwares out there that have like full on sales funnels and like automations built in. I really don't think an entrepreneur needs that until they're like, honestly, like I would say over six figures. I don't think you need anything crazy until you hit the six-figure mark, which is also great because then you have more cash to one, invest in more software, and also perhaps hire somebody to help you set it up. And that's really my best piece of advice is like once we start scaling your business, just pay somebody to do it so you can stay in your lane of creating content and connecting with people and living your life. And so that was one of the best things that I've done in all of my years is last year, well, even in 2021, I started a partnership with a funnel builder, and that was so helpful. Funnels, automations, all of the things. And now we have multiple people that help in that category. So it doesn't have to be on me. Could I do it? Yes. Do I have the time? No. I remember when I was sitting down, like working on a funnel, and Boone kept needing me. And I was like, okay, this is just not conducive in my life. Like I love that type of stuff. Actually, I'm very nerdy, but it's just not conducive in the lifestyle that I have right now. And so hiring people makes way more sense for me right now. So you get to either learn it and do it, or find the cash and hire somebody, or just keep it super basic and then eventually hire somebody. And so I just don't want this stuff to stop you. I also want you to embrace when there's like technical, like tech challenges, they're gonna happen. And it's really how you respond to them. And just know that like everything's figure outable if like something is breaking down or not working. A lot of times it's just a glitch in the software, and like the next day it's going to be better. Like even Facebook and Instagram, they glitch, right? Like there's been days where literally like Facebook has been down and it won't like scroll, and everyone's like, it's not working. It's a part of the game that we play as an e-learning empire. So just know that those things are going to happen, which is why it's so important to also diversify your marketing strategy with IG, Facebook, email marketing, etc. So just a few things to think about on this fine Friday, but I don't want it to stop you. And I just think the energy that you surround yourself with when it comes to technology is very important too. And also thinking about like your actual tools. So often people are like, I'm not going to start a podcast because I don't have a fancy mic. We're almost 200 podcasts in and I don't have a fancy mic. I don't have an intro. I don't have an outro. Like we're just now starting to talk about those things. Again, don't let tech stop you. People are like, I need a ring light. I need a pretty background for videos. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's a stalling mechanism. Just because you see somebody on the internet doing that, that maybe a few chapters ahead of you, doesn't mean they had that when they started, nor should you. Now, if you want those things and you have the capacity to have them, then order them literally right now so we can't use it as an excuse. So that's like my biggest thing. I don't want you using any tech or any like tools as an excuse to not keep moving forward. Allow this to be messy. Allow yourself to show up and get better and be able to reinvest in your company. And you can absolutely have a wish list of like all the things that you really want, but please don't let this stop you. I promise you, the best thing that you can do is start showing up and creating a ton of visibility around a certain niche on social media. So let's say your e-learning empire is going to be all about moms or all about real estate or all about business or finance, or pick any topic that you're passionate about. That is key. Think of everything that you can possibly like talk about around that niche and what people in that niche would also like, and get so fucking visible. You are even like sick of yourself. Like, quite honestly, you're in your stories, you're doing reels, you're doing TikToks, you're doing posts, you're like giving tips, like tricks, like everything that you possibly can, become so valuable that people cannot look away. Become so irresistible that people are like, how can I work with you? This is where I want your energy to go. Not stressing about tech. You're stressing about the wrong shit. Okay? People, once they know, like, and trust you, they don't need to go to a long sales page anyways. They're like, I'm in. Like, take my money. And you're like, sweet. Here's a PayPal link, right? I'll add you in. That is the power of creating a very strong personal brand on social media around a very specific niche that you become the expert. You literally position yourself as that, and everyone has that option. They have that opportunity, right? But they're not focused on it. And even if they know that that's like the most important thing, they're still getting tripped up on saying, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say on social media. I'm so busy. I don't have the time. Again, we can't let these things stop us. If I told you if you did 200 Facebook Lives, you would get $1 million, would you find the way? Hell yeah, you would. You wouldn't worry about a ring light. You wouldn't worry about your schedule. You'd be like, okay, I guess I'm doing some trainings in my car, right? You would figure it out because you knew that the outcome was there and you just had to follow the steps. Because guess what? That is absolutely what can happen when you follow the steps. And so I want you to start like training your brain of like, okay, when I do these things, it's leading to this financial goal, and you can pick them out. Or the like just the actual thing, like maybe you're wanting to leave your job. Okay, 200 Facebook Lives and I leave my job. 200 Facebook Lives. I'm just using this as an example. You can change this out. 200 Facebook Lives and I make $100,000. 200 Facebook Lives and I make $1 million, right? Like depending on where you're at in your business. And so it doesn't always mean more gets you more. However, when it comes to like marketing specifically, you got to do a lot of it, like a ton of it. One of my Moolah Club members, they get Q&A with me every single week. And last night I was going live and answering their questions. And one person was like, my, essentially my $7 offer is a flop. I talked about it and, what would you do? And I was like, I guarantee you did not talk about it enough. I don't talk about my own shit enough, like literally. And I'm like, I feel like I can't talk about it anymore, but I know that I can, right? You cannot talk about what you're doing enough. And how the best marketers do it is you don't even notice that they're selling because they're serving so deeply and passionately, but they're selling, right? And so so powerful because when we can show up massively on social media, you start to position yourself as the expert. People start to know, like, and trust you, that then when the time is aligned, they're like so bought in and so sold. They don't need a long sales page. They don't need a sales call, right? Your marketing has taken care of all the heavy lifting over a period of time because you've been so consistent and you haven't allowed anything to stop you from being consistent, and you've shown up imperfectly, and that builds a lot of trust too. Like, you see me no makeup and then full on makeup, you see me with kids and you see me with no kids, like, you see all the different pieces and parts of me. I don't hide it because this is who you get as a mentor. I'm not always put together, prim and polished, and it's not always quiet in my house. And so, yes, I think there's a time and a place. Like, when I take like my like coaching calls, it is like pure silence because I need to be on and I need to be able to provide a great service. But like, you've seen me hold Boone on this training, right? Like, on the show. And so it's a part of my life, and I'm not going to pretend that it's not. I'm not going to apologize that it's not, because a mom out there watching the show on a morning will be like, huh, she's doing it with kids. I bet I could do it with kids, right? She's not making excuses because she has kids or a learning disability. I bet I could do it. And so, you actually showing up imperfectly, messy, and authentically is actually what is going to build a massive business. And when you can embrace that and showcase it and not hide it, is when the money making game will change for you. Like, quite honestly, you're hiding pieces and parts of you, and we get to show them. Like, I even remember when I started to talk about my debt journey and paying it off, I was scared shitless. I was like creating so many stories in my head of like, oh my gosh, people are going to judge me. They're not going to think that I have my shit together because like I'm still paying off debt. Here I am, a business coach, and I have debt. And I'm like, dude, like it is okay. It's like, and how I teach about debt is very, very different. And so I just started to share my thoughts and my opinions and how I'm paying off debt in record time, and what does that look like and how is it feeling. And like, literally, messages have flooded in. Like, people are like, you're changing my life. You're changing how I've looked at this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, the one thing that felt like this dirty secret, like, and I just started to expose it and share it with people and be on the journey, right? Like, literally changed my whole business. Like, it took me to the next level because I was willing to be uncomfortable and willing to be vulnerable and just share a piece of me that I hadn't shared up to that point. Not because, like, I was keeping it from anyone, but just like working through my own mental blocks, right? And when I finally just said, you know what would happen if I just started to like share this? And, if people judge me for it, then that's okay, because it is a part of me. And I can't allow that to, like, I can't let somebody's judgment stop me from helping somebody else, including myself. And it's been very healing for me because since I wasn't talking about it, it actually was blocking me, and I was playing a smaller game because I felt that like shame around it. So once I started to like neutralize it, which is what I talk about in the debt-free journey training of neutralizing your debt, everything changed, right? Like, I was willing to be vulnerable. I was willing to put myself out there, and it garnered so much more trust with my audience. And that was not even the goal. It was not a sales strategy or marketing strategy. It was a vulnerability strategy of like, I'm doing this for me as a leader. And also, I hope I do change somebody's life and inspire them. And that's exactly what happened. So I digress, but it's so powerful because when you actually just start showing up as you more and more and more, and showing pieces and parts of you as much as you're willing to, it changes everything. Literally everything. I don't have a huge following. We just now are putting tons of money into ads. Like, everything that I have built to this point is 95% organic and people that I've just met on the internet. Okay. I don't go to tons of networking events or anything like that. I don't cold message people. Like, I do this very fun and authentically. It feels good. And you can do this too, which is why I love all of our programming. I teach you different strategies, I hold you accountable. We have so much energy in our programs, and there's still so much room for creativity. So I have a framework in all of my programming that I teach, but there's so much flexibility in it for you to still be super creative, which I think is really, really important. There are steps to follow, there are things to do, but tons of creative freedom to like put your spin on it, because you showing up on social media and having this like this really nice flavor that's authentic to you is what's really going to work. Okay. And then the back end strategies are like getting your systems set up, getting your mindset dialed in, like all of those things that I teach are super powerful. But like you then putting your spin on it of like, okay, I am going to like show up this way on social media and it's going to work because it's authentic to me. And then all of my strategies combined, like that honestly is what makes it a home run. So I love that we have so much creativity and flexibility in our programming. And then also we work so heavily on your mindset, because the bigger the business that you desire, the stronger the mindset needed. Like, truly, in order for you to grow a big ass business in it to feel good, right here and right here, like healing your heart, are like the biggest things that we work on. And I used to like not say that because I'm like, oh, no one wants to do mindset work. But like, I just don't hide it anymore. It is the most important thing. And I talk about it all the time, publicly and in our programming. And it is so freaking important. There is no way that I could be holding the level of the business that I am today and also building for the future without mindset, personal growth, all of those things, working on energetics, cleaning it all up. Like, we've talked about a lot of that on the show, and we just go deeper in our programming. So if like you've been really enjoying all of our free resources, I love that. And I encourage you to like take that leap into our programming, whether that means you apply for a scholarship or you have the funds to invest, because we just get to go deeper with you. You get more entrenched in like the community, the energy, the strategies. There's just also more accountability when you're in a program versus watching and listening to free resources. Free resources are fabulous, and I will always have them, but I just encourage you to go deeper. And we've really worked diligently to like eliminate as many barriers as we possibly can. The scholarships specifically there's requirements for it, and I did that on purpose because I still want you to show up. It's not a handout. It's like you get to do the work. Like, I don't care that you're not paying, like somebody else is paying for you. So like you've got to do the work. You've got to earn your spot here, because I can't help you if you're just sitting on the sideline. So regardless if you're a scholarship award winner or you are paying, like you've got to show up, you've got to get in the game, you've got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and get messy and be willing to do the work, even when it gets uncomfortable. And when you know that you're going to be here for the long haul, everything changes. I am not going anywhere. I knew that day one. I know that today, and I know that in the future. And it really does like ease the nerves of like, okay, like as my babies are still young, I'm still moving forward. Am I moving forward at the pace if I didn't have kids? Probably not. Like, if I had no children and I had 40 plus hours a week of like no distractions, no one else that needed me, it could look different. However, the story that I create in my head is like, one, my babies motivate the crap out of me. Two, I am very, very like extremely time management savvy. Like, I can get shit done with a little bit of time because that's all I know. That's all I have. So it's actually built really strong time management skills. by having children and not making them my excuse. And also, I've gotten so fucking good at delegating that like there's really not a ton on my plate. Like everything that's on my plate is like want to tasks, not have to tasks. Obviously, I've built a business to the level that I have the funds to delegate. But even in the beginning, when I was a mom with Emma and my e-learning empire was like very teeny tiny, I still did invest. I like did 5 hours a week just to get things off of my plate. So like delegating has always been a part of my business. So yes, could you argue if I didn't have kids, I could be doing more and getting further faster? Maybe, but it's also gotten like it's forced me in the best way possible to like develop really strong delegation skills, time management skills, critical thinking of like all the logistics of my life. Like, how are we going to make all of these work? So it's honestly made me stronger. And like, also, I know people that don't have kids and they have too much time and they're like, I just sit there and I don't know what to do. Right. So it's like, we think that the grass is greener on the other side, but just like embrace the season that you're in, embrace your reality right now, and know that you're not going anywhere and you're going to get there when it's meant to be. But like, let's move forward. Let's make progress. Let's not let anything or anyone stop us from our big ass life. Okay. That is your responsibility. Okay. Don't let anything or anyone stop you. Tech, people, anything. Okay. You get to embrace being unstoppable and building a big ass business to create a big ass life. It is up to you. Okay. When you take extreme ownership, everything changes. When you show up authentically, show pieces and parts of you when you feel at least a little bit comfortable to share them, everything changes. When you create so much visibility on social media and share different topics that relate to a very specific niche and become so valuable to that niche, to that demographic, you become unstoppable. Everything is available to you right now. And we just get to tap into it. We get to meet yourself where you're at and start to move to where you want to go. All right. Make it a great weekend. If you know anyone that would love to apply for a scholarship, or if you feel called to apply for a scholarship, again, extreme ownership. You do not get to sit on the sidelines if you get awarded that scholarship. Okay. There's going to be a fire under your ass. And you like, if you're awarded, don't like, seriously, don't miss the opportunity. Like, you get to get in the game, get messy, all of the things. If you're ready to hop in and you've got the funds, we would love to have you and support you in building this big, beautiful, freedom-based business, which is an e-learning empire. I love you. Have a great weekend. I will see you back on Monday.